All right, Pisces. So happy birthday. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I do feel like there is a mercurial focus this month, not only because we have two Gemini cards here, but also because Mercury is retrograding your sign for quite some time, starting this month. Now, with the Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands underlined by the Lovers, I feel that there is a hesitancy to take the wrong path. And there's a fear that you haven't quite learned your lesson and that you're going to repeat something. So it is going to, granted, with Mercury retrograde, I feel like it is best to, measure twice and cut once, just like anything else, because the Page of Pentacles also speaks to opportunity. And he's pretty excited about what he has. He understands that what he has here is a real gem. It's something that is very valuable and should be cherished. However, this guy is looking at him like, bro, I don't know. We've been through a lot. I don't know. You know what I mean? So sometimes things are shiny and new. But if you, rub them a little bit or wax them, you see that it's just the same old thing repackaged. And I feel like that's the fear. I don't necessarily feel like that's the case, but it's the fear. Right? Because the Nine of Wands is someone who has been through the ringer and just doesn't want to go through trials anymore. They want to be able to make choices. They want to align with a path that is expansive and doesn't make us question ourselves and doesn't cause any type of disagreement or energy where both parties come up short, you and the other person. So I feel like this is also a detachment and a veering away from karmic cycles, as well as bonding through trauma or learning through extreme forms of triggering, right? Because we can be triggered in a positive manner, or we can be triggered in a way that still holds space for us to learn and still holds space for us to see, right, the opportunity at hand without letting all of that past energy get in the way. With the Sun, the Knight of Wands, and the Magician, this is saying that ultimately your goal this month is to stand on your own 2 feet and take the route that feels most empowering and take the route that allows you to tap into the multitude of gifts that are available to you. The Sun and the Knight of Wands says that you should not hesitate on opportunities that make you feel alive. Okay? Now, I also feel like this is a resurgence of youthful energy, and some people may not really understand why you take such a, quote, juvenile approach to life, but it's not for them to understand. They need to mind their own damn business, okay? Because the Sun and the Knight of Wands is saying, like, you will benefit from rushing to the things that make you feel alive, right? And I also feel like what makes you happy will be very clear this month, and clarity overall is going to be available to you. You may get news about something or from someone that just like is the final puzzle piece and locks it all into place. And it would be in relationship to matters of the Magician, which are things that you have ultimate control in, that you play a hand in. Okay, because the Magician is empowered and he understands his skills and he understands his value, and he doesn't need outside sources to make shit happen. So I feel like someone may have reflected something to you, right? A lesson or a situation may have reflected something to you, and you saw it as a pivot point instead of like a harsher Five of Swords type of crossroads situation, and it's going to benefit you. But let's get into your whole spread, because March is a huge month, with it not only being Mercury retrograde, but obviously the equinox is coming, and we just had that Virgo full moon. All All right, Pisces. Interesting reading we have here. I feel like I said earlier, this month is not going to be, the month that you start something in a very physical way, in a very brick and mortar type of way. I do feel like, though, that you're going to have the strength, whether that be emotionally or physically or mentally or whatever, to speak what's on your mind without fear of like repercussions or what, speaking on something will lead to, right? Because sometimes we hold back our truest thoughts because we're like, well, once I let the cat out the bag, there's no going back. You know what I mean? And the energy you're being initiated into this month is the thinking woman with the 5th chakra, okay, which is the throat chakra. And the thinking woman has a very similar color scheme to the 5th chakra card-wise. Okay, she's very green. There's a decent amount of green in the Archangel Gabriel card as well. So I feel like you are allowing your heart space to permeate your thought process this month, and I think that Mercury is helping you with that, to be honest. And I feel there's a fluidity coming. I think that you understand that whatever conclusion that you have drawn at that moment, that you are called to announce it, right? Or speak up, or whatever the case may be, is exactly the conclusion that you're supposed to come to at that time. So if there's any fear that like, oh, well, if you say something and then it ends up not being true, or you end up changing how you feel or whatever, it doesn't matter, because at that moment, you know what I mean? That's what it is. I also feel like you are understanding or better understanding the feminine language and the intuitive language that your brain, is learning how to comprehend it, basically, and then how to like regurgitate it back. So this energy of the Queen of Cups as your overall energy, I feel like is complementary, because with an introspective type of energy like this, where you're really allowing feelings and energy to permeate your spirit, and then thinking woman with the 5th chakra, I feel like you are going to be able to do everything in tandem. So it's going to be like you get an inclination, you don't really know what it means, but then you get this thought or this urge to say something or to research something, or to you have this conversation with somebody that brings up certain topics, and that's all you need to handle. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's also a lot brewing beneath the surface emotionally that you're having to deal with, because I also think you're realizing that as valuable as they are, intuitive pushes and feelings and things that aren't necessarily tethered to reality are helpful, but they have to be used in tandem with other things. So because we're releasing the 10 of Cups and you're stepping into the 10 of Pentacles, I feel like there's a shift in goal manifestation. I think that you may have thought that what you needed was like emotional growth, or growth of your social circle, growth of the things that bring you joy and things like that. But really, it's a lot more of a showing up and a physical gesture that you're needing. So if you tend to be a person who gets lost in like emotional affairs or emotional fantasies, but nothing ever actually physically materializes in your reality, I feel like you're shifting your energy to be able to ground what you actually require, if that makes sense. Where you're being asked to be released, we have the 10 of Cups with the rune Disruption and the Chariot. So again, if you have been waiting for like a partner to be able to move forward in your life, or if you feel like you're at a stalemate in your life that can only be changed by having more loving relationships, having more heart-centered type of stuff going on, or it's like you feel like I think some of you have been feeling stagnant because whatever level you've been at in terms of emotional fulfillment, whether it be family, whether it be with what you do with work, or just like you're just a lot of unsureness of like, I don't know how I feel, or I don't know if I'm really feeling as full as I can be. I feel like you've allowed that question mark, if you will, to distract or derail your progress. And it's almost like you made them contingent upon one another, as if moving forward wouldn't naturally bring you more satisfaction, wouldn't naturally bring you more emotional fulfillment. So I feel like it's important this month, Pisces, to remember that you can't wait on anybody, or you can't wait on any type of condition in order to move forward in your life. You also can't wait on other people. And when it comes to relationships, or even, and I mean all kinds, friendships, all that, because, people, they require other people. It's important to never make goals for yourself that are contingent on other physical beings showing up. Now, that's not to say that you can't want a family, or can't want a partner, or more friends, or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. But the goal would not be to meet a person that then goes hiking with you, or that then goes painting with you. The goal would be to commit yourself to living an emotionally, energetically, spiritually fulfilling life, and motivate yourself to go out and start participating in the activities that you feel are associated with that fulfilling life. And then watch those people be already present. The dream life that you want to live, the people that you feel you need first to live out that dream life are already out there in those scenarios living the dream life. Like they say, you'll meet someone who's aligned with your dreams or whatever while you are pursuing that dream career, while you're pursuing that dream lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Wherever we dwell and focus our energy and focus our attention is the type of people we will meet in that area. So I feel like this is also about, again, less ruminating and more doing. The door that's now open, that was once closed. We have the Four of Pentacles with both the Four of Swords and the Two of Wands. And on the Four of Swords, we have the rune Victory. So I feel like, again, a stable physical life, right? Monetary life, home life, as well as a stable mental process is opening up for you. Especially if you're the type of person that you feel like your emotions are so fluid that like you never really feel secure, right? Sometimes we can just feel like we're constantly on an emotional roller coaster that makes our life feel a lot more uneasy than we need to. Seasickness is a real thing, and I feel like you're not going to be oscillating in extremes as much going forward. The Four of Pentacles does want to cherish everything that they've earned, okay, and does have a desire to hold on to things. However, with the Two of Wands being the complete underlying energy, there is a desire to see more and see the other side of the coin. So wherever you've been fixated on creating change or locking something down, or just feeling like wherever you have felt like you need to focus your energy, I feel like you're coming into a time this month where you're going to be able to heal that perspective, if you will, or see things from a different light that you hadn't seen before. And you're also going to be able to get to the root of why you thought you needed that physical thing, or why you were so fixated on that physical thing and the emotional attachment that was related to that. Because the Four of Swords does ask you to detach and reflect, right? To allow clarity to come through by stepping back from our attachments and observing them, right? And that's how you will successfully see both sides of the coin and see both avenues and potentials that you have, right? Because I also feel like there needs to be a higher value in peace of mind. I don't think that you've really been valuing your voice and valuing your peace of mind as much as you could. Maybe it's out of fear of loss. Again, if you speak your mind, that you might lose people or that you might be lonelier than you were in the first place. But anyone who has a problem with your truth isn't really, for you anyways. And with the victory rune on the 4 of Swords, I do feel like where you previously had a stalemate in both options seemed like a dead end, you will have clarity on which way is the best way, okay? Your current energy as it relates to all of this in your head, we have the 7 of Pentacles. In your heart, we have the 8 of Wands with the rune Future. And in your foundation, we have Judgment and the 7 of Wands. So mentally, I feel like you've just been waiting for things to appear, waiting for things to materialize, but are also afraid of what could happen, or afraid of what seeds your mind has planted, because you know that the emotional undercurrents of your spirit, of your soul, do tend to, or can tend to, taint, if you will, your manifestation process. Okay? With the 8 of Wands in your heart space, I do feel like your heart is expanding, your heart chakra is expanding, and there's a lot that you want to say. And I also feel like you're starting to feel the future, like manifesting energetically, because before anything can manifest physically, it has to manifest in energetic form first, right? We have to put all of that energy flow out into the universe, out into our field, out into our reality, and allow those seeds to be planted. So I'm almost seeing this as like an energetic crop duster. And in your mind, you're like, I don't know if I planted those seeds, but like your heart, your body, your energy field is already doing the work. And they're doing work that may not manifest till July or August. Like, and I talked about that in the Virgo reading, and I talked about how, with the equinox, right, we're coming into a new year. And Pisces being the ultimate unknown and Virgo being the harvest, this is a great time to really get clear on spiritually what you're looking to bring into fruition. Now, with the Judgment and the 7 of Wands in your foundation, if in the past you've had a really hard time sticking to something that is 100% for you, right? It's not a selfless thing. It's a selfish thing. Like, what boundaries do you have, or what ideals or what beliefs do you have that you have a tendency to back down from when it comes to other people? I feel like you're getting a second chance on that. Okay, wherever you have previously backed down and yielded to other people, okay, whether it be them impressing upon your lifestyle, whether it be being empathetic or sympathetic to your own demise, whether it be taking on responsibilities that, ultimately don't help you, you have the power this month to really push back and assert yourself. Okay, and so if things from the past or a situation that you've always had a really hard time drawing a line with and being able to see the clear difference, whether it be people taking advantage of you, or you feeling taken advantage of, or whatever, I feel like you have a prime opportunity this month to draw a line in the sand, okay? And it has the power to shift even things that have happened in the past and change the course of what is to come for you. Because obviously, there's fate and then there's destiny. And destiny is something that we're in control of, right? And fate are things that happen along the way that guide us. And there's a strong 7 focus here. 7, 7, 7, 7. So I do feel like there is a necessary transition that you're going through right now. And this is a big lesson. The 7 for me is things could take a hard turn that may at first throw you off guard, but it is very much a part of your path. Okay? So if you are feeling things that are getting prepared for you energetically, but you can't wrap your mind around how long they would take to really make sense in this world, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about how or why or when, okay? Just focus on what you want your future to be like and how you want to feel in the future, okay? Because there are things that you know and have known for a while that you need to verbalize and that you need to put into action. Spirit's advice as it relates to all of this, we have all major arcanas. The Emperor with the rune Journey, the Strength card, and the Sun. Huge fire energy, okay? Huge fire energy. So also, this is also pointing to the fact that at the equinox on March 20th, you are shifting into a period of grounding and building that will start to really strengthen and show itself, right? In the summer, okay? In July or August, in Leo season, all right? Because with the Emperor and the rune Journey, this is saying that if you're going to be rigid about anything, if you're going to be particular about anything, if you're going to stick to your guns about anything, let it be the way that you run your life. Let it be the attitude that you have towards your own goals, towards your own manifestations, towards your own desires. The Emperor takes no prisoners. He doesn't give a shit what other people have going on. He worries about himself and secures himself first, secures his home first, secures all his responsibilities first, and then. So I feel like it's really important right now to play to your strengths as well, and to be very, very clear about what you're good at and what you aren't good at. And that's not to say that you need to focus on your flaws, but that's to say that when you play to your strengths, right, and you recognize what you're not very good at but could do if you had to, you will also attract in people that are good at doing the things that you are not good at, okay? So it's also time to be very in tune with yourself. And with the Sun here, I feel like it's going to become very, very clear to you that everything that you've ever gone through, right, that seemed to hinder your emotional growth or that seems to slow things down, right, poor relationships or emotional disappointments or whatever you've gone through that has somehow hindered you is going to be the exact same material that you use to build a life that is rock solid, okay? Going into April, we have the 10 of Pentacles with the rune Standstill and the 7 of Cups with the rune Luck. So I do feel like going into April, because Mercury will still be retrograde, or maybe, you know, at some point it's going to retrograde. It's going to go direct in April, and it's going to finally exit and go into Aries, I think, late April. But going into April with the 10 of Pentacles and Standstill, I feel like there's going to be a lull in manifestation, because once things start to materialize on any level, or if you feel like, you know, your family or the people that are close to you, everyone's going to feel kind of like locked in, or like they can't really do anything right now. Like, it's like, you know, the moves you're going to make, but you can't make them yet. It's like strategizing, right? Accumulation may be on hold, but the strategy and the preparedness to execute is there. So with the 7 of Cups and Luck, I feel like there's a fear that you're going to pull the wrong trigger. And it's essential that you don't pull the trigger until you're sure. And that's not to say that you can't, like, trick yourself into, like, never feeling sure, because you definitely can. But with the 7 of Cups, this is a lot of dreamy, unsure energy, right? And I feel like there's a fear here that, like, well, nothing ever works for you, right? Nothing ever is that easy. And that kind of stuff is going to come up. Yeah. And you have to believe in your own ability to succeed. And you have to believe in your ability to get all the things that you want done. But you are going to lack some type of physical proof, okay? And ultimately, you're going to have to align yourself with just one person or just one opportunity and give your all to that one. And I think that's going to be really hard for you because you're used to keeping your options open, or you're used to getting disappointed if you put all your eggs in one basket. But at this time, that is ultimately what's going to be required. Okay? Pisces, I hope that made sense. This is going to be a little bit of a wonky time for us all, but I think it's going to reap huge rewards down the road, okay? If you're interested in the mid-month readings and love readings, all that info is in the description box below. I love y'all. Peace.